When a Bollywood film releases, the first number everyone hears is the box office. Opening day collections, weekend totals, the race to 100 crores. But here's the part most audiences never see. Box office isn't revenue, and revenue isn't profit. A film can look like a hit on paper and still struggle to make money. Because the theatrical gross is just the starting point of a long financial chain, not the final destination. To understand how a hit really works, we have to follow the money past the ticket window. Let's start with the first misconception. When headlines say a film made 200 crores, that entire amount does not go to the producer. Theaters take a cut. Distributors take a cut. Taxes are deducted. The producer only sees a fraction of that gross, and that fraction changes depending on deals. In India, the typical theatrical split starts higher for producers in week 1, then declines over time. But these are averages, not guarantees. Some films are sold to distributors outright for fixed amounts. Others operate on revenue-sharing models. So two films with the same box office gross can generate very different returns depending on distribution terms. That's the first layer. Now let's move to the second stream, music rights. In Bollywood, music isn't just part of storytelling, it's a separate commercial asset. Production houses often sell music rights to labels before the film even releases. These deals can cover a significant chunk of the production budget. Streaming platforms, radio, and short video apps all generate licensing revenue for songs. Sometimes, a film's soundtrack outlives the film itself financially. That means a film that performs modestly in theaters can still recover money through music. Next comes satellite rights. Television networks pay for the right to broadcast films after their theatrical run. For years, satellite deals were one of the most reliable revenue streams in Bollywood. A big star film could command a high satellite price regardless of box office uncertainty, because channels wanted recognizable titles for festive premieres. So even before release, producers could secure a large portion of their recovery through pre-sold satellite rights. Now add the modern layer, OTT licensing. Streaming platforms have changed the risk equation dramatically. Today, many films sell digital streaming rights before release. These deals can be structured as post-theatrical exclusivity windows, direct-to-digital releases, or performance-based bonuses. For some mid-budget films, OTT deals alone can make the project financially viable even if theatrical performance is average. For big films, OTT revenue is another pillar supporting recovery. But here's where things get more complicated. Just because a film sells these rights doesn't mean it's profitable, because there's another number that rarely gets public attention: cost. Production budgets aren't just about shooting. They include actor fees, director fees, crew salaries, set construction, location permits, post-production, visual effects. Then comes marketing and promotion. Big Bollywood films can spend enormous amounts on marketing campaigns, trailers, events, interviews, digital ads, outdoor media. Sometimes marketing costs rival production costs. So when you hear a film made 200 crores, you also have to ask, what did it cost to make and sell? Because revenue minus cost equals profit. And high-profile films often carry high financial risk. Now let's talk about brand integrations. Brands pay to feature their products in films, songs, or promotional campaigns. Sometimes brands sponsor entire marketing tours. These deals don't just reduce costs, they create parallel income streams. A brand-backed campaign can offset a chunk of the promotional budget. So even if theatrical margins are thin, brand money cushions the downside. Now consider overseas rights. Bollywood films sell distribution rights territory by territory: Middle East, UK, North America, Australia, and more. Different markets have different audience behaviors and pricing structures. A film underperforming domestically might still do strong business overseas, especially if it features globally recognized stars. Those overseas deals contribute to the overall financial picture. But again, each deal comes with its own splits and guarantees, which means the producer's net position depends on the structure, not just the headline gross. Here's the key point. Box office numbers are public, but deal structures are private, so audiences see the gross but not the margins. This is why a film labeled a blockbuster in headlines may still be considered financially underwhelming within the industry. And sometimes a film that looks average publicly can be quietly profitable, due to strong pre-sales and controlled budgets. In other words, profitability is negotiated long before release. Theatrical performance is important, but it's just one piece of a multi-layered financial puzzle. This is also why producers aim to de-risk films before they hit theaters. By selling music, satellite, OTT, and brand rights early, they reduce their dependence on box office volatility. The theatrical run then becomes an upside opportunity rather than the sole recovery channel, and this shifts how films are judged internally. A movie that doesn't break records can still be considered a success if the financial model was structured wisely. Meanwhile, a film that looks huge publicly might disappoint investors if costs were inflated and margins thin. So the next time you hear a film's box office number, remember, that number is not revenue, it's the top line of a chain. Money flows through theaters, distributors, rights deals, and marketing expenses before it reaches the people who made the film. Because in Bollywood, a hit isn't defined only by collections. It's defined by how smartly the financial puzzle was assembled. And that puzzle starts long before the first ticket is sold.